brain is Peyton Manning like. You watch him kind of operate the line of scrimmage at Clemson, you go, this dude, both in the run and the pass game, thinks next level. And then with the talent of Andrew Luck and Matthew Stafford, you know, the great thing about Trevor Lawrence is his foundation fundamentally is elite, Greeny. It's elite. Now, the really interesting thing is guys who are built like that have great fundamentals, usually need to, because they don't have great talent. They have to have great fundamentals to overcome the lack of talent. This guy's got number one talent as well. So we're talking elite fundamentals, which matter, combined with elite talent. He's going to be a rock star. He's going to be an absolute stud. He is not even close. There's no one close to Trevor Lawrence in the draft when it comes to the quarterback position.
And then, Diana, let me wrap it with you here as far as the wheeling and dealing end of all of this. Mel is finally, and Mel, can I tell you, it is so exciting as one who has followed you all these years to see you projecting trades in this for the first time. It adds a new element to fun.
There we go. Brady, I'm finally a senior draft analyst. So once I became senior.
Football League circa 2021, and there he is, Mel Kiper Jr. Let's start at number 2. That really is where the where the draft begins. And the Jets have a decision to make. They could take the quarterback or they could stick with Sam Darnold. Why do you believe they stay with Sam?
I think Sam, outside of Trevor Lawrence, Greeny, would be the quarterback to move forward with. Now, they may disagree, but Zach Wilson, to me, would be a sideways move at best if you take him at 2. And then you trade Sam Darnold. So I think surround Sam Darnold with better talent. You say, well, he's beaten up physically and mentally. Well, a lot of quarterbacks that have been in the league or are out of the league now and are Hall of Famers say that's what you need to do. You need to play through that, not sit and watch. And Sam played through it. It's a new situation there with the Jets, new organization, everything's new, and maybe something he needs. People say change the scenery. Why not change it with the Jets and go get a Kyle Pitts who can be that difference maker, something they didn't have last year for Sam. Got nothing from the tight end position. He can be more than an inline tight end. He can be a slot, wide receiver. You can move him around and give them a dynamic in that offense that Sam Darnold has never had.
It's a fascinating question, and it would be for any team in that situation. But so you have Wilson there clearly cut at the number 2 position, and then we look at the other quarterbacks in this. You have 5 of them going in the first 9 picks, so it's great respect for all of them. But I'm always fascinated by the order in which you place them, and it certainly feels like from the beginning of the process to this point, the one who's moving up is Mac Jones, and that may not stop anywhere. Give me a sense of what you're seeing from the league's perspective on him.
Well, Senior Bowl week helped him, Green, no doubt about that. How about 77+% completion percentage this year? He was flawless, and he didn't have Jalen Waddle after October 24th. You know, he had Devontae Smith. So for Mac Jones, they didn't have Judy and Ruggs. They had moved on. Tua had all those guys. Mac Jones did not. He was nearly 80% completion percentage at all levels. Short, medium range, and deep. So for me, I think the Senior Bowl week with Matt Rule. Now, Deshaun Watson, Greeny, is the trade going to happen? Who's going to get Deshaun Watson? Will he be dealt? That could alter things, obviously, in the top 10. But if things stay the way they are, Carolina, how if you're Matt Rule and you like Mac Jones coming in, how can you not love him coming out of Senior Bowl week? So I think at that particular pick, it will be very difficult for Carolina, who is eyeing a quarterback in that division. They will be the team ahead of the curve with the youngest quarterback moving forward. Why not, at number 8, take Mac Jones?
Right, and the specter of Deshaun Watson hovers over all of this and many of these teams. And obviously that's something we'll have to see how it plays out. But the question on Mac Jones will be, does he play the brand of football that the NFL is today? All the other quarterbacks in this draft have a level of mobility that he does not. At this stage, Mel, how important is that for evaluators and, more importantly, for teams?
Well, you would prefer to have a Joe Burrow type who can beat you with his legs. And those Joe Burrow-Mac Jones comparisons, I've said for months now, Greeny, are not accurate. Joe Burrow beat Alabama with his legs. And the NFL this year, before the injury, was that mobile quarterback who could run and pick up first downs with his legs and his mobility and his athleticism. Mac Jones isn't going to do that. I said, hey, Tom Brady couldn't do it. Tom Brady came out of Michigan, right? That's why he was a 6th-round pick. Mac Jones, they say, well, they're dinosaurs. Well, Tom Brady at 43 won a Super Bowl. Drew Brees was still playing at a pretty high level despite injuries and age. Now he's retired. Think about what he was able to do. Led his team to the playoffs. So if they're dinosaurs, Tom Brady's proven that you can still be effective in this league as a pure pocket passer if you're accurate and you're smart and you're competitive, and that's what Mac Jones is.
Yeah, so maybe the lesson here is that Pocket quarterbacks, unlike dinosaurs, are not yet extinct. All right, Mel, stay close by. We will do much more with you as this morning continues. And again, the entire mock draft is right now available on ESPN+. And actually, it's going to stay with us. And let me come out to the group here. Dan Orlovsky, I turn to you as my quarterback guru here. Essentially, Mel is saying you take Sam Darnold, you take Zach Wilson. That's the decision that the two team in this draft, which is the Jets, are making. He has them staying with Darnold. Do you like it or not like it?
Yeah, I like it. You know, Greeny, I had some time away with my family, and I'm watching the show, and I see my boy, the guy I love, Mike Tannenbaum, come on, and he's throwing some shade at my guy, Sam Darnold. And I'm like, hold the rope. Unlike Josh and Devin on the challenge, they couldn't hold the rope last night because I'm hearing like, well, funny body throws or off-platform throws. Well, Sam's like, okay, I'm hot, my receiver's not looking. I'll get creative. I'll get outside the pocket, stare to the right, see it's third down, where's the marker? And oh, look at that no look to Crowder. That's an off-platform throw. That's outside of the pocket. This one is sick. This one is absolutely sick. Move that defensive lineman, keep the vision downfield. Just watch this throw. Watch this throw from the back angle, full sprint to the left. Look at where this ball is thrown. Get out of here. That is a funny body throw. How about this beautiful play against Denver? Okay, play action, move because that internal pressure. Vision downfield, watch the ball placement on this throw. This is outside the pocket, off-platform throw. So I'm hearing everybody talk about Zach Wilson, or like, man, he's a really good athlete, and he makes these outside of the pocket, creative second reaction, off-platform throws. And I'm like, that's the same thing that Sam Darnold does. So let me address Sam Darnold for everybody who's a Jets fan. If you thought a young quarterback in his first 3 years was going to play well with 2 head coaches, 3 offensive coordinators, mono, a significant shoulder injury, a bottom 5 offensive line and run game, a bottom 5 skill group, and bottom 10 defensive line, that's on you. No quarterback was going to play well with the Jets. What everyone needs to realize, it's Sam Darnold and what you'll get for the second pick versus Zach Wilson and what you get for Sam Darnold. Right now, as I sit here today, the Jets should keep Sam Darnold and make everyone think they love Zach Wilson.
Okay, I like it. Now, Chris Canty, I come to you. You host the talk show in New York, mornings on ESPN Radio in New York with Rick and Dave Rothenberg. So you're talking about this literally every single day. Yep. Do you agree? Should the Jets stay with Sam Darnold or take the quarterback in the draft?
No, I absolutely do not agree with Mel or with Dan in this situation. And listen, I understand that you're talking about the talent conversation when it comes to Sam Darnold. If you put him in this draft class, he's probably the second most talented quarterback. But one of the things that's understated in this conversation and what the Jets should do at 2 is what the last 3 years have done to Sam Darnold in terms of affecting his overall confidence and his career trajectory. I've literally heard from a quarterback about having the career knocked out of him. David Carr was one of my teammates with the New York Giants when we won Super Bowl 46, and he talked about his experience down there with the Houston Texans. One of the things that I worry about with Sam Darnold is that he's never going to realize this potential that we all saw back in 2018 that vaulted him into the top 5 in that draft class.
All right, so that's obviously the push and the pull. Mel, we touched on that briefly. I'll come back to you on that in a second, but I want to get Diana Rossini into the conversation. What are you hearing about this? Because this really is where the draft begins, and everything that follows will hinge on this decision the Jets make. What are you hearing from them?
Yeah, for now, right now, I've been told the same thing day in and day out, which is they are still evaluating what they want to do at the position. But Mel mentioning that they want to take a tight end with Kyle Pitts there. No tight end has ever been taken at the top of the draft in the first 4 spots ever in a draft. So this would be a really intriguing move made by New York. And here's the thing, I've talked to people around the league about Kyle Pitts, and they say he's just a matchup nightmare for defenses. And you look at the impact that we see in the league with Kelsey, Kittle, Waller even, they've really been able to make the difference for these offenses. And if there's one thing that Chris pointed out very clearly, that's Sam Darnold needs help. And what better way to get some help on this offense than getting a tight end as good as Pitts would be?
All right, so we will leave that there. All these things are to be decided, obviously. Let's move then, and Mel and I talked about it, Diana, to the specter that sort of hovers